You might be wondering what it actually means to be impaired. This is a word that you probably hear all the time, and maybe don't quite fully understand. Being impaired is really about being in a state that makes you unsafe to do certain things. You can be impaired from lots of different things. You can be impaired from drugs or alcohol. You can get impaired from things like lack of sleep, improper nutrition. You can be impaired in lots of different ways, right? So when you're using these substances, it makes it hard for you to, think clearly, to make good decisions. They can increase what we call your risk-taking behavior, which means you do riskier things. You take bigger risks than you would if you weren't using those substances. We're not good judges of when we ourselves are impaired, right? And that's because alcohol and drugs are interacting with our brain, and we have a hard time understanding what's going on with ourselves and around us. So, planning ahead for that, making sure that instead of, judging at the time, do I feel okay to drive? Am I not okay to drive? Having a plan in place even before that. Some of the science, how they equate that is they call the average person a 180-pound male. Now, most high school students are not 180 pounds. So for an adult to have one or two drinks, one or two beers, right? One or two mixed drinks, already at that low level, they're starting to experience changes with their brain function that are making it harder for them to make decisions, harder for them to judge their own safety, their own impairment, really. So even low levels are risky. And why that's so important is that when you're doing things like driving a car, for example, it's really important that you have a physical state and a psychological state, right? A mental state, so that you can do that in a way that doesn't make you unsafe on the road for you and for other people.